Alright guys, it's Zero to Hero back here with another video. Today's gonna look a little bit different. You typically see me talk about, what video games are coming out or movies that I'm interested in or what TV shows I'm interested in, but today's gonna be a little more different, man. It's gonna be a little more close to home. I think the title of the video is gonna be somewhere along the lines of 3 reasons you should watch anime. Growing up, a lot of people believe anime to be somewhat childlike, like it's the same as like a TV show from Cartoon Network, but man, when I tell you there is so much more to anime than what meets the eye. I could talk about anime all day. There's so many that I've watched, but my inspiration of this video came from the person who, or the anime character, the fictional character who got me into anime in the first place, and it's Naruto Uzumaki. I mean, some of you know the story, some of you may not. Naruto was a little boy who lost his parents and was cursed with something that he did not ask for, which was a 9-tailed fox. The one thing that I really do appreciate about Naruto, and I'm gonna talk about 3 things, it's gonna all go hand in hand, but I'll start with the first thing, which is discipline and finding his purpose. Naruto, on the very first episode as a 12-year-old boy, he understood that people hated him for something that he couldn't control, which was the 9 tails who destroyed the entire village, and then they placed that curse inside of him. But, instead of him hating the entire village for hating him, he decided to become somebody who's, well respected. And how did he do that? He figured out his purpose, right? His purpose in the first episode was to become the Hokage. And all the Hokage means is essentially the president of the village, right? So he figured out that was his purpose, and he understood very early on that it would take a major discipline to get to that goal. I mean, you had so many people in front of him. He wasn't really good at school. He wasn't really good at anything. I can relate to that, especially growing up. And instead of him giving up every time something went sideways, he decided to really lean in on who he was. You know what I mean? So yeah, purpose and discipline is #1 reason why watching anime is extremely important. Number 2, I'm keeping this video simple. Number 2 is the power of connections and friendship. I can tell you this, the one thing I appreciated about Naruto is that all it took was for one person in his life to really believe in him before he really went out and went for his goals. You can have the whole, one thing I'll say is you can have the whole world go against you, but if you have that one person who speaks life into you, which I found along my journey, when you find that person, you essentially shoot up 10x. Why? Because sometimes that's all we need to hear. Sometimes we need one person that's going to encourage us to become the best versions of ourselves. Naruto found that one person in his life, when he thought everybody was doubting him, that one person spoke up for him when he couldn't even speak up for himself. And that in turn allowed him to get on the pathway to become Hokage, which was to go back into #1, which was his purpose. And the last but not least is the power of believing in oneself. Anime gives you the power, or it shows you concepts of characters who believe in themselves when the world was against them. Believing in yourself is so powerful, man. Like, I remember when I was growing up and, I didn't have food to eat some nights, or I didn't have, clothes on my back, and I wasn't doing well in school. The one thing that, when I used to watch him on TV and see him believe in himself, it gave me confidence when I would go to school every day, when I would try my best in sports, when I would try to make connections. Believing in myself helped me get to the level in which I am today. Once again, to reiterate, 3 reasons. Discipline and purpose is #1. I know that's 2, but I'm putting them in 1 because they go hand in hand to me. Number 2 is the power of connections and friendships. Finding that one person that believes in you to get the job done in whatever avenue or whatever you're going in life. And then number 3 is just believing in you. That's a hard thing to do. It's a easy concept to hear, but it's actually a hard thing to do, especially when you feel like the world is going against you. I just want to encourage you guys, man, you should find an anime to watch. Like I said, Naruto is one. You can watch One Piece. Dragon Ball Z, Solo Leveling, which is my current favorite. And I'll get back to you on that pretty soon. So that's all I got for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see. There'll be more reactions. I know Assassin's Creed, which I reacted to, I believe, almost a year ago at this point. I know it's coming out in the next 20 days or so, depending on when you guys see this video. So I'm excited to talk about that. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.